Have you published your book through Audiobook Creation Exchange in an exclusive deal and you would like to publish it elsewhere? Well, there's good news, because in today's video, I'm actually going to show you how to take your ACX published audiobook from exclusive to non-exclusive and how you can upload it to another platform. Stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you want to learn how to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss a single video. I want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of this channel, Thinkific. If you want to turn your book into an online course or even host your lead magnet or reader magnet, then do it through Thinkific. You can start 30 days for free when you visit dalelinks.com/Thinkific. So you've published your audiobook through Audiobook Creation Exchange through an exclusive deal. But does that mean it's set forever? Well, not necessarily. The agreement is set for 7 years when you initially go into it, but believe it or not, you can actually switch it from exclusive to non-exclusive after 1 year of it being on the market. Now, why would you want to do that? Because you're going from, say, 40% down to 25%. Well, there's other options you can take advantage of. In fact, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where you can upload it to, being Findaway Voices. And the reason why I want to take my audiobook from exclusive to non-exclusive is so I can get wider reach through Findaway Voices, because they have 36 different avenues. And this is insane considering I'm only using 3 avenues. And by the way, those 3 avenues are already available through Findaway Voices. The process is fairly simple, but it is fairly intricate as well. So let's go ahead right into the next screen.
Okay, according to ACX's Terms of Services, underneath 12A, you're actually going to find all the information you need to know to switch from exclusive to non-exclusive. You need to kind of bear in mind that it says, make the request after the initial 1-year period. Audible will change its distribution right to the audiobook to non-exclusive effective within 60 days from the date of its receipt of your request. So as I'm going through this, I'm going to kind of document exactly the process that I'm going to go through. We're going to need to copy this, first of all, this email address. All right, and I'm going to go into the email service provider, or the email that I'm using for ACX, because if you try to use a different email than one that is associated with your ACX account, they're not going to fulfill that. In fact, they'll probably think that you're spam and just toss it on out. I've made the mistake one time before. So let's go ahead and we're going to go into Compose. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop in what I need to here, and we're going to put in exclusive to non-exclusive for the subject line. Now, at this point, what we're going to need to do is we need to make sure we put in the actual title that we want to utilize. So in this event, what I'm going to do is go into my ACX account, go into your projects, go into completed projects, and find the project that you need to move from exclusive to non-exclusive. In this instance, I'm looking at this one right here. And we want to make sure we double check the date. So it'll say it right here, on sale since. Today is September 17th of 2019, so it has been 1 year to the day. So I think we're going to be ready to switch this from exclusive to non-exclusive. And I really haven't had that many sales of this particular one, so it only makes sense that I try to branch out and try some other avenues. We're going to copy the title, and then let's go ahead and we're just going to paste it. I'm going to right-click, paste as plain text. All right, now with that being put in there, I'm going to italicize it so that way they know it is a title, and I'm going to put in the request. And really, that's all you need to put in there. Thanks for your help. So in any event, I'm just going to hit send, and at this point, we're going to flash forward here in about half a second and find out exactly how long it takes for them to process that and what kind of a response they give me.
Okay, so it took roughly about a day for ACX to get back to me, and this is what they said. Thank you for contacting ACX. We've submitted your request to change the distribution of your title from exclusive to non-exclusive. This process can take 14 to 20 business days. We'll contact you once the process is completed. So this is reassuring to me. When I had put in for this, it originally said it takes upwards of 60 days, but now they're kind of saying, no, it's going to take about a couple weeks or so. Good news is I got an email within a week, and this is what it had to say. As you may recall, you asked that we change the exclusivity of your title, and we're happy to confirm that the distribution change has been processed. The audiobook is now under non-exclusive distribution. So now all this is out of the way. It should be noted, and I'll probably say this in other videos, when it comes to ACX, when you're non-exclusive, you will not get promotional codes. But in the event of what I'm doing here, I'm switching the exclusive to non-exclusive so then I can put it over to Findaway Voices. Findaway Voices actually has promotional codes. So let's go into the account, let's download all the audio files, and then we're going to upload them over to Findaway Voices. So you're going to want to log into your ACX account first. Locate the title that you're looking for. You'll go into Completed Projects. Look for where your title's at, select your title. It's going to take you into the metadata. Once you go into the metadata, what we're going to do is go into the Produce Audiobook section. And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to download each one of these files. Make sure you put it into a single folder. That way it's easy for you to track back later on. So I'm just going to hit download of each individual track, select the proper folder that you want it to go in, and hit save. And this is going to be rinse and repeat. You're going to want to make sure that you keep everything in the order in which it's uploaded. So that way you're not getting thrown off. For this particular title, it's going to be pretty easy for me because it is rather short. But for those of you that are doing, say, long fiction books or some type of novels, you're going to probably need to kind of number the files so that way you don't forget which one of them are, where they need to go, and how they need to be uploaded. The one file you're not going to need is the 15-minute checkpoint because it's just not necessary over on Findaway Voices. Now that we've got all the files all downloaded, let's go ahead and let's log into Findaway Voices. If you have not set up a Findaway Voices account, do so over at findawayvoices.com/Dale. It's of no financial benefit to me. It's just kind of a way to let Findaway Voices know where the traffic's coming from. So definitely appreciate if you use that link. All right, so now I'm going to sign into my account. We're going to start a new project. We're going to sell an existing audiobook. And now we're going to go ahead and start to put the metadata into here. It's fairly intuitive. I'd recommend that you have your ACX account open so that all you have to do is just copy and paste everything over. We're going to kind of skip through some of this here and fast forward. Okay, so one of the things that says your updated agreements. Please take a moment to read and accept our updated agreements. This is just something that's rather new. They have new distribution partners. So this is a first time here for the channel. Everybody's going to be seeing it at the same time, not I am. So we're going to go ahead and agree to this distribution agreement. So it says they've added new distribution partners in Fuse, Baja Libros, Leamos, and Beatty. Other recent changes include Voices share to the master production agreement. In this instance, we don't have the Voices share. I don't need to worry about that. The increased Google Play royalty from 45 to 50%, which is news to me. This is fantastic to hear. Added Kobo's pool model for Kobo Plus. Awesome. And then added Chirp as a new distribution option, which those of you may not be aware, Chirp is actually a service available through BookBub. And so this is pretty awesome. I know that speaking with Will Degas of Findaway Voices, he was super excited about the partnership with Chirp. So let's go ahead and scroll on down. I'm just going to hit agree to this. And you can always just go through and read the fine print in your own leisure. Okay, so I know that I'm going to go ahead and start to copy and paste all of the metadata here. So again, we're going to go ahead and just fast forward now. Okay, so this is one of the more fun things that you can actually go through is as you're going through and plugging through your metadata in here, you're actually allowed to set your pricing. See, ACX, you can't do that there. On Findaway Voices, you can. There's two separate pricing you're going to want to focus on. There's the setting the retail list price, and there's setting your library price. They actually have a whole FAQ section on this. For the most part, though, I've already kind of gone through there. I've already kind of decided what I was going to end up pricing this, and we're going to go ahead and get that set right now. With the library list price, they recommend pricing it right about 3 to 4 times the actual value because keep in mind, this is going to be lent out to some people and it's going to be used multiple times. So hence why you're going to want to have that retail amount a little higher. Now, this doesn't work for all libraries because there's actually some library lending systems like Hoopla that pay you per checkout instead of being paid for one lump sum over one. Okay, before we progress on to the next step, I think it's important to note the actual cover art that we're going to need to do. We're normally used to 2400 by 2400 for your dimensions of the ACX cover, but over here in Findaway, they actually need something just a little bit larger at 3000 by 3000. They prefer PNGs. For the most part, all you need to do is just enlarge your 2400 by 2400 and it should be able to look just fine. Hopefully you haven't stretched an ebook cover because this will make it look ridiculously pixelated. This is why I always recommend get actual customized audiobook covers done for your books. So we're just going to go ahead and upload my 3000 by 3000 pixels of the audiobook cover art. Once you have that, we're going to want to make sure that we go ahead and save that. Now that it's saved, let's go over into the next step of distribution. Okay, so there's two different paths we can take here between standard distribution and the Voices Plus distribution. The standard tier of audiobook distribution that Findaway has always offered, you pretty much get everything else that everybody else does. Voices Plus will handle all aspects of your audiobook distribution, receive special benefits including piracy protection, extra giveaway codes, priority access to the author's direct beta, and more. Plus it's free and you still get to keep 80% of your royalties just like the standard model. However, there is a little bit of an exclusivity agreement when you're utilizing this avenue, so you're just going to make sure that you choose one that makes the most sense to you. So right away I'm going to come on down here. Since this book is already distributed through ACX, I won't need to utilize the Audible area. Now I'm going to leave Apple there. This is something that they have recommended, that you're only getting 25% royalty from Apple and then you're getting 40% of it when it goes to ACX. On Findaway Voices, you're actually getting 45% and you're able to collect 80% of that. So, and the nice thing is there's no duplicate publishing because Apple will defer over to Findaway Voices. So this is one of the nice things. So we're going to go into View Detailed List to Edit Network. And we're going to scroll on down. I'm going to deselect Audible and Amazon. Since I already have distribution there, I don't see any point in me going ahead and distributing again through here. We're going to leave Apple go. We can scroll on down here, 30 plus different avenues. Really super happy about that. So everything looks good. We're going to confirm selections. And you'll notice it grayed out Audible. So I've got 35 of 36. And by the way, there's word that they're trying to expand into even more markets, which is really awesome for us. Scroll up, click audio. Now's the point that we're going to start to upload our files. And they remind you how you order your files is how your audiobook will play. Findaway Voices will publish your audiobook in the order arranged here. So we're just going to go ahead and upload what we need to do. Super simple. You see I just uploaded it. It's right in there. Again, we're just going to rinse and repeat. Okay, so before we go ahead and submit these audio files, it's probably important that you go back through, make sure all the files are in proper order. Again, if you have these files to where they're numerically in order, it's going to be all falling into place. So double check through. I've already done that. I skipped to this portion. So we're going to hit submit audio files. Here's what's next. We'll start to running your audio files through our encoder and quality assurance process to prepare them for distribution. We'll prime our distribution channels to let them know your title's coming. Your title's not for sale yet. We need to capture a few more details and we'll give you a chance to review all your title's metadata before submitting the title for publishing. So we're ready to go. Continue to final review and submission. We're going to click it. And it's going to show all of my metadata on one page. And they're going to want to make sure that everything looks good. They're like, hey, is everything good? So we're going to take a look. Everything looks awesome for me, so I'm just going to hit submit for publishing. And that's it. You've just submitted your title, so it's at this point, it's a hurry up and wait game. I've discovered that it took probably a few days before my last book actually went into some of the markets. Since there's so many markets available through Findaway Voices, it actually takes a bit for it to propagate out to each one of those avenues, but in due time it'll get out there. I've noticed that library has been treating me pretty well on the one title I already have available, so I anticipate this is going to be a little bit of the same. Speaking of audiobooks, if this is a little bit over your head, you're kind of going, Dale, I don't really know what to do when it comes to audiobook production. Believe it or not, down in this next video series, right below here, you're going to click on that. It's going to tell you a little bit more about ACX, the one that I was just talking about at the very beginning, and it's going to start you out from the very basic to the more advanced steps that you're going to do for Audiobook Creation Exchange and producing audiobooks. I'll see you there.